Hey everybody, good morning. Thank you so much for joining me today on today's Best Stock Picks. It's Friday morning, March 12th, 2021, and there's a lot to talk about. We have COVID, we have treasury yields, we have new all-time highs, we have stimulus package. There's a lot going on, and I want to start out by saying very clearly, there's one phrase that has really been a monster part of success for this month, and that's patience pays. If you did not overtrade while it was choppy, if you did not overtrade while volume was light, you put yourself in a position to have a day like yesterday where instead of digging yourself out of this big hole, you kind of went back and forth a little bit, but you were still kind of here at net even, driving yourself crazy a little bit because you want to trade. There's nothing to do, but you have to be patient. You get a day like yesterday, and it pays for the previous couple of weeks if you're in the right ideas. And I'm just so proud of our community. I can't even tell you, there's a monster difference between learning how to read charts and learning how to trade. And that's really what our community is all about. I just want to say, everybody who's in the community right now, who's in the boot camp, really, really good job. I'm very grateful to be a part of it, and very excited to see that we have so many people taking it seriously and realizing you don't need to be right to get paid. You need to be right in the sense that you manage risk and then you learn how to make more on the other side. So I'm just super happy for a lot of the people that had some winning trades yesterday and ultimately ended up making it a good month after a couple of weeks of challenging. So if you are finding yourself to be kind of going down that path where you're trading a little too much, you're chasing price, you're buying on the way down, instead of finding stocks that have bullish order flow, just be patient. Just remember, put it on a poster pad, put it on your desk. Patience pays. So we're going to take a look at the ideas today. We have roughly 10 new stock picks that we're going to take a look at today. The stock market made new fresh all-time highs yesterday, got some new catalysts, all good. However, the question is all of this good news already priced in? If you look at a lot of the stocks that bounced off the lows a year ago, you look at a lot of the stocks such as energy stocks, especially, and the get out of the house stocks since November, and the financial stocks have really been rallying hard since November. So the question now is, was all of this, including the stimulus package, priced in? This is really where you earn your chops as a stock trader. When the stock market discounts into the future, now you need to pay attention to the best ideas at the optimal entry that have room to go. You're going to find a lot of stocks that are in uptrends. You're going to find a lot of stocks that have bullish order flow, but how close to the optimal entry? How close to the spot where if you buy it now, it justifies accepting risk because profit potential is likely? Let's head on over to the charts. We're going to take a look at a couple of interesting news stories. But first, if you could please do me a favor, if you find these videos helpful, definitely give us a thumbs up. That would tell me what type of content you like, and especially that I'm providing value for you. If you could do me a favor too, please click down and subscribe. That also gives you alerts. This way it sends back out to you. And just as importantly, we cover a lot of topics here. If you have questions about what we talk about in these videos, definitely leave a comment below. We'll have a little back and forth. If I can answer something for you, that would be awesome. Obviously, everything that we discuss is educational purposes. You have to make your own decisions. And if you want to get into the boot camp and trade with us in real time, click down into the description. I'd love to see you in there too. So let's start on over to the charts. Let's take a look at the news today. So obviously, the COVID relief package was passed. Stimulus checks look good. Vaccine aid looks good. President actually did a speech last night about WYNN, and without bringing the whole speech into it, no politics at all. The big thing was talking about Independence Day, and he's got everybody visualizing this moment in time now, which will end up being probably close to 18 months after the lockdown, when we really kind of just stopped having a normal life. I had to put my wedding off last year. We actually had it in our backyard. So hopefully July 4th, everybody have that in their mind, and we can have a nice summer. So that was actually some positive news last night. The big one today is Novavax. Actually, Novavax stock exploding this morning. You can see here 96% efficacy against the original strain, which is great news. The stock is actually trading up 20% right now as I'm recording this. So if you're new, if you're a day trader or a swing trader, that's a monster move. We're going to be looking for follow through today, but you need to have line in the sand, and you have to be able to read the tape. And I'm going to explain what I mean by that, because we get a lot of questions about what it means to read the tape. You actually know how to read the tape already. Whether you think you do or not, it's not the ticker that goes across the bottom on CNBC or anything like that. Reading the tape means that you have a certain price, and you know prior to the trade. This is where great trading comes in. This is the difference between, again, chart reading and trading. You have a price that you know if it's moving further away from or further down from before you put the trade on. Now, when I say you know how to read the tape, because you do that with every trade you're in. You have your entry price, you're like, oh, it's great. Or you have your entry price, oh, no, it's not great. Depending on which direction it goes, you know that stock better than anybody on Wall Street, and you could make a good decision on that. But the key to really elevate your trading is to be a tape reader, is to have that level prior to the trade being put on. So, for example, let's just use NVAX right now. If I was reading the tape, if we were trading together, we'd be watching NVAX for its pre-market high. That would be the level because it's going to have good volume pre-market. I'd be noting the highest place that volume happened pre-market, and that would be the line in the sand. That would be the number that I'd be reading the tape with, and that's what we'll pay attention to today. So we have some intraday numbers as well that after the market opens that we watch as a community in the boot camp. But just for this purpose, for educational purposes, watch the pre-market high. That's the level that we'll be paying attention to, because if buyers did something there, the smart money, the deep pockets, bought that stock at that point, they thought that was the best stock pick now, that's where we want to pay attention to, because even if it drifts down and comes back up to that spot, that's where they've made their commitment. That's where they've put real money, and that's where we got to pay attention. So mark that off pre-market, and actually leave me a comment. Let me know if you noticed actually how to do that, and if it actually did come to fruition, if it actually did follow through. And those are the great conversations that we should be having here. All right, so that's great news there. Now, the one thing that obviously we all need to pay attention to is this. Treasury yields, 10-year Treasury yields are the big albatross on everything that we're watching right now. It's just reality. Markets, money has pretty much been free. You know, you can borrow billions and billions of dollars at practically no cost. Of course, your company's going to be reporting good earnings. That cost of borrowing money goes up a little bit. Things change, but let's keep things in perspective, okay? We're going to have a lot of people say, oh my gosh, we're having a lower opening, and all of that kind of stuff. Look, we just made all-time highs yesterday. Let's not panic that the market's negative at 6:15 in the morning. Let the market open, respect risk, have your levels. Let's put in context what the market just did. The SPY just went from what was widely considered a confirmed move to the downside, which we said over and over and over again, look at this long-term picture. This is not a turn to the downside. It's a potential turn to the downside. Well, off of that, we rallied. The SPY rallied almost $16. Actually, no, I'm sorry, $26 off of that, 372 to 396 into new all-time highs. So this is the problem that most inexperienced, struggling but smart traders have. You're chasing price. You pull up an alert. You're like, oh my gosh, there it goes. I have to get in. Oh my gosh. No, now you need to let it settle in. And I'm going to show you a trade in Boeing in just a second that does the same thing. Rallied up hard, took out some levels. Now you let it come in and you get it near that optimal entry so that you have this much room to go. So if you take the risk here, you have sufficient reward potential to justify accepting that risk. But if this is the normal profit of what the stock does, and you're buying it up here, you've just shrank the profit potential. So you can't take the same risk because the profit potential is less. So what do? How do you turn that into a trading lesson right now? That means that you have to reduce your risk exposure on that trade. Your stop loss needs to be tighter because the profit on the trade is less based on what the stock normally does. That's a big lesson there. Write that one down. All right, so we're going to head over. We're going to take a look at NVAX charts, and we got a few other ones that have some really good, clean follow through that are not extended. So what are we looking for in NVAX? You can see NVAX was actually getting clobbered. It's right now it's trading up just under 20%, 225 and change. So it's all the way up here. Now this is where, remember what I just said about pre-market activity? Well, we're all the way right here, the last place that sellers came in and shoved this stock down. So this is an important area. So especially if we can get above 240, that would be amazing because that's where the selling happened in a big way last time. But we will be looking at the line in the sand today as active traders, and that active line in the sand is this price right here. If we're above that price intraday, then we're going to be involved in that stock pretty actively during the day. We just mentioned Boeing. Again, pretty clean move through. Industrials have been very strong. Hopefully you understand a sector rotation strategy. I'll post a link here for that. You could watch that one. Now it's a little bit extended. The most recent move in Boeing just went from 210 to 255. Okay, you're going to be getting involved late. I'm looking for a pullback now somewhere around the 240 area, probably 240, 245, looking for the next move higher. I'm not chasing this move up. I'm going to let it come to me, get my price. So again, the profit potential expands. Now, here's a big thing too. I get a lot of people asking, what's the benefit of being in the community, that kind of thing. Well, these are the kind of stocks that we've been watching for the last 3 or so months. You start to notice patterns. You start to read the tape. You start to put the clues together. DISCA has now paused, looking for another entry. Viacom, also similar. You want to really get the full effect here, look at that weekly chart. These are the kind of things that you need to learn how to scan. We had a coaching call on Monday night, our weekly coaching call. We spent 90 minutes going over game planning, really refining what it means to dig in there, go on a treasure hunt, and look for the best stocks to buy. So these both look still good. They're both still good. They're not extended, despite the fact of how far up that they have already gone. Going to get a little lower opening today. It's going to open us right in the middle of that trading range. So we're looking for buyers to step back in and start moving in our favor. 2 other stocks, Trip, really good, clean 3 or 4 day move, and Expedia as well. Both stocks actually look good. It looks like both of them look good. Expedia here, though, you can see it keeps pushing up and failing, pushing up and failing. I think I'm going to wait for this one to pause a little bit more at this price range, right around 165, 170, and then look for the next breakout. Trip actually has expanded a little bit. So what we're really kind of do right now, despite the breakout, we're setting up trades for Monday or Tuesday. Very important to have that watch list. PENN and DraftKings, both in our universe yesterday. Okay, both of them now a little bit extended, so they're going to pull back with the rest of the market. Start building your watch list. The thing with DraftKings, though, and PENN as well, both of them are trading at or near all-time highs after a significant rally. This is one of those trades where somebody says, I know everything about trading. I'm going to trade breakouts. Oh, my gosh, why do all my breakouts fail, especially at all-time highs? Again, look what happened here the last time. It rallied hard into all-time highs and then pulled back almost $20. Rallied hard into all-time highs. So don't be the person chasing it. Get it somewhere around 124 to 128 and then look for it. So looking for it to pause a little bit and manage risk. Some other trades that still look good as well. MGM forming a really, really good solid pause here. LVS as well. You can start to see a pattern. And WYNN was one of the better day trades that we had yesterday. Again, just to give you some context yesterday, this is taking advantage of it in the morning. And we had 2 really good trades in this stock yesterday as well. Kind of faded in the afternoon, but that's why we called it out as a day trade. And again, that's the big difference between understanding how to read the tape and profit potential versus just getting in because you're chasing price. We were very clear this was only a day trade yesterday, and we didn't have to sit through this. Last but not least, a couple of popular stocks. FedEx, pretty interesting here. Order flow is still bearish. However, this is really the start of a new change of trend. I really like this over 264. Plenty of room to go if it can get through 276. And DFS, finishing this one up, you can see also this is not extended, so I'm looking for follow through here as well today, and you can see that it's actually still trading positive. So there's a lot to digest today. Again, if the market rolls over a little bit today, don't be chasing these stocks that have been up 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days in a row. You're going to be holding the bag. It's going to pull back and take a stop, pauses, and then does exactly what you wanted it to do. Let it come back to you. Get your price, figure out what your optimal entry is, where the risk is justified by great profit potential. So thank you so much. Boy, this was an exhausting week. It's been an exhausting month. But again, I just want to start out and saying what I started out with. I'm really proud of everybody in our community, and hopefully you're learning the same thing, that patience pays. Don't dig yourself a hole. Pick the right stocks at the right time. If it's not active, don't get involved. If volume is really light, don't get involved. If you're not seeing large red or large green candles in your stock where it's active, maybe it's rallying, pulls back for a couple of days, and you look for a new spot to buy, or it's active and going up for a couple of days, get involved only when you see that. Get involved when the smart money is active in those stocks. That's an easier time to feel conviction in your ideas. So thank you so much for joining me. Let's have an awesome, awesome finish to the week. Click down, give us a thumbs up if you like these videos. And definitely subscribe. Oh, one other thing that we're going to be trying soon. We're going to be trying shorter videos. We're just going to like 1-minute videos letting you know what's going on during the day. And then we'll give you a link to learn more about watching those kind of videos as well. So have a great day today, everybody. And I'll speak to you soon. Thank you so much.